Hello friends. So today we will see how to give a nice structure to your presentation. Now often we have good ideas and findings out of our research, but we are not very sure how to present it in a good structure. So you can use this basics which I am going to teach you today for presentation making and give it a good structure. So these are the best practices which you can usually follow. Step 1, create a nice cover slide. Step 2, you can create a slide for table of content or agenda. Step 3 is to build some context and give an anchor to hold your thoughts in a good structure. Step 4, flesh out the different components of the anchor. Step 5, add flag posts as you navigate through the different sections. Step 6, adding the divider slide at the start of every section. Step 7, add a summary slide. Step 8, add a Q&A slide to mark the conclusion. And finally, step 9, add the appendix slide for any detailed section. So, this is a basic structure that can do magic to your PPT. You can use it for any educational project for your school, college, for interview related business cases, internship report, or independent study. However, for advanced structuring for complex reporting, business cases, let's say for management consulting purposes, I'll make another video with higher level of complexities. So let's get started. Now we are at step 1 and we are creating a cover slide. So the topic which I have chosen is increasing the revenue from ecotourism. So I have chosen a wallpaper so as to use it as a cover slide, which is of a landscape, as you can see. So select a picture which is related to your topic and make sure to flatten the color because it's a professional PPT that you are making. Select a topic name which is crisp and short, like here it is increasing revenue from ecotourism, very direct and simple. Add your name and add the date as well, which can be the date of your presentation or the date of submission. Now step 2 is creating the agenda slide. So the agenda for this PPT is like understanding ecotourism and revenue drivers, then analyzing the opportunities in detail, recommendation, Q&A, and finally the appendix. So the agenda here gives a structure to your entire PPT. We can also call it a table of content if the presentation is for offline read. Now let's go deeper into the structure of this PPT. So I'll use a template format to walk you through how I have shaped this structure. It can act as a good reference point for you to create a structure for your topic as well. So the first section is understanding the ecotourism and its revenue drivers. So basically we are at step 3, which is about creating a context setting and anchor section. Now, context setting. So here we explain what is ecotourism in detail and add some stats if possible. You can also add more detail like the types of ecotourism and make it really impactful with some visuals. Now, this slide is the most important section of this entire PPT because this is the framework around which the entire entire PPT would be revolving. So this framework or the anchor actually holds your thoughts in the form of a nice structure. As you can see in this framework or anchor, we have listed out the different contributors towards ecotourism revenue. So these contributors or the pillars are like number of people visits, the length of stay, the spend per visitor per day. Explain clearly the meaning of each of these drivers with examples, and it's a good practice right at this stage to add some relatable icons or pics or logos associated with each of these drivers because it will come handy in the subsequent slides to add as a flag post, which will help you to relate back to this framework visually. Now, let's do the deep dive to analyze the opportunities for improving the revenue. So, we start with step 4, which is fleshing out the content. Now, we will be analyzing each of the drivers in detail, and just so that we are able to relate it back to the anchor, as you can see in the top right, I have added the icon, which is also known as the flag post. So the first driver here is number of people visits. So break it down into elemental factors like what causes people to visit more. Also mention the different obstacles so that we do a holistic assessment. It's a continuation of the previous slide. So we retain the same heading, but with a numbering scheme like 1 by 2 and 2 by 2. And here we have mainly listed out what are the different interventions or opportunities which are out there to increase the visitors. Not only list but also explain in detail if possible. We follow the same approach for the analysis of other two drivers, that is length of the stay and spend per visitor. Now, with this analysis done in detail, we are now able to give a nice recommendation. Also, one thing which you might have noticed that we have been creating divider slides across to segregate between one section to the next section. Now, the step 7 is recommendation. So, summarize your suggestion about the possible interventions across the 3 pillars. Make sure that it is crisp and short and to the point. Also, the obstacles or the risks which you have identified, make sure that you summarize that as well to capture a holistic perspective. It's a good practice to bring to life your recommendations with some live examples that proves your hypothesis. So finally, we are at the step 8, which is the end of the presentation. Stop for a few minutes for taking any questions from the audience. If it is the report for an offline read, you can just add a thank you slide. And finally, any additional detail that you may want to add, you can add it beyond the appendix slide. So that's what I wanted to present everyone. So if you really found it useful, this structure is helpful, then please like, share and subscribe to my channel, Zosiverse. I make similar content on presentation skills, business skills, etc. Leave your comments with the topic that you want me to create a video on, and I'll get back to you soon. Thank you and have a great day. Bye.